Okay, if you are someone who's LGBTQ plus, and if one of or some of your family members don't want you to be LGBT when you are, and that they want you to be straight when you don't want to, well, that is just wrong. They, they need to, whoever does that to you, they need to respect what sexuality you are, and that not everyone is going to be straight. So if you are if you are LGBT, if you are if you are an LGBT person who has been having this from one or some of your family members, and here are some of the things you can do. The first thing is that you can stand up to that family member, telling them that you are that sexuality and that they can't force you to be straight. The second option is you can write it on a piece of paper and give it to them physically or leave it in their room. As in, you can write it on a piece of paper of your sexual orientations, and you can give it to them, or just leave it in their room and have them see it when they get into their room. The third option is that ignore what they say, or they want you to be straight and just be the sexuality who you really are. If you're an LGBT person and that's your sexuality, then that's your sexuality. And just be what sexuality you want. Like I said. The fourth option is that talk to someone who you trust about your sexual orientations. As in, if you have a friend, if you have a friend or someone you can trust about you, then just chat with them. It doesn't matter if it's a real life friend or an online one, just someone you trust. Talk to them about your sexual orientations and tell them how you feel about that. And the fifth and final option I have is have a calm conversation with that family member and tell them why you're that sexuality. So again, if you're an LGBT person, you could just, for example, if it's you and your mom, you could just sit down, you could just go to a kitchen or a living room, sit down and just talk to them civilly and calmly of what sexuality you really are. Hopefully they'll eventually understand, but if they still refuse to, then you know what you can do from my advices. So yeah, again, if you're an LGBT person and has been having that situation from one or some of the family members when they want you to be straight when you don't want to, then here are the possibilities I gave to you. Another thing is that what is also wrong is one or some of your family members to force you to get a girlfriend / boyfriend when you don't want to. Or as in, you're basically forcing one of your family members. As in, if you're a boy and one or some of your family members forces you to get a girlfriend, then that is just wrong. If you don't want a girlfriend, you don't want a girlfriend. It's simple as that. They can't force you if you're a boy and someone in your family wants you to get a girlfriend, they can't force you to do that. It's your personal choice. And also, to any of you who's been going through this, so have I. One of my aunties is forcing me to get a girlfriend and to be straight when I don't want to, and that I'm bisexual. So yeah, that's my advice is to you all who's been suffering this with your family members, and that if you're an LGBTQ plus person. So that brings this video to an end. See you next time, and happy Pride Month.